Well, Ravens flock, John Harbaugh has made his decision, and there is nothing we can say or do about it. Let's talk. Guys, it is what it is. A lot of people were prepared to uh, to hear some news regarding the coaching staff in this press conference that John Harbaugh had today. They stretched it out to 3:30. Usually he does his press conferences at 2:30, but instead it was done at 3:30 here, which meant something important had to be said, or at least that was the speculation. Many people thought this would be the moment Greg Roman would be announced as the former offensive coordinator for the Ravens. People thought he was going to get fired. People thought the Ravens were moving on from him. Even though I've told you guys on several occasions, they're not firing him. They're just not. Maybe in the offseason, that's still a possibility, depending on how this season ends. But in terms of firing him mid-season, that's not going to happen. I've tried to tell you guys this several times over, but you're not willing to listen. It's not going to happen. They don't got the guts to fire him mid-season. They're not going to attempt to. Not only that, it just looks like they're completely content with what they're seeing from Greg Roman and have no interest in making changes. John Harbaugh went to bat for this man. And basically, my takeaway from the press conference is John Harbaugh has made his choice. He has decided that he is going to die on his shield. He is going to protect his coaching staff and roll with these guys to the bitter end. If they find a way to get to the Super Bowl and win, they'll be able to prove all the haters wrong. If they fail miserably in the playoffs or even fail to miss the playoffs in general, that will probably be the end of the John Harbaugh era in Baltimore. So honestly, it's up to them. Let's play it out. We got 3 games left. If we make the playoffs, we'll see what happens there. If we don't, those guys better get ready. Because now it's up to the owner. So it's up to Steve Buscaglia. We got to wait for what he has to say in terms of this. I mean, obviously he's not going to be interviewed on this, but like we have to see what decision he's going to make in the offseason. But in terms of John Harbaugh and in terms of the Ravens firing Greg Roman during the season, it's not going to happen. He is not going to get fired. This is going to be your offensive coordinator for the rest of the season. Off season, that's a different conversation. But at least for the rest of this remaining season, Greg Roman is here to stay. Time to accept it. That press conference by John Harbaugh was one of the funniest press conferences I've seen this season. He said a whole bunch of nothing. I was at least hopeful that we could, get an update about Lamar Jackson's situation. Is he going to practice this week? Do you think he may be able to play on Saturday? We got no updates involving Lamar Jackson's injury situation. So I have no idea if he's going to practice. We'll just have to wait and see. I was hopeful we would get some information, but John chose not to share it because he's like, we don't really want to give any sort of advantage or any sort of information to our competitors. And I'm sitting there like, they're probably going to prepare for Lamar. They're going to prepare for both. They'll prepare for Lamar and prepare for Huntley. They're going to be prepared for whoever's going to be the quarterback. So this whole thing about we're trying to get an advantage, where's the advantage going to come from? The speculation has been that Lamar is going to return for this game. So they're going to prepare for Lamar Jackson. And even if it's not Lamar Jackson, they'll prepare for Tyler Huntley. They're going to be prepared for whatever quarterback you decide to throw out there. So I don't know how much of an advantage this is going to be for you guys. But yeah, we got a whole bunch of nothing. Same old talk from John Harbaugh about addressing the issues. And, this isn't where we want it to be, but this is a good football team. Just making a couple bad mistakes. It was a bad game. We just got to focus in. We still got a lot of great coaches here, a lot of great players. We got to be able to execute better. We got to be able to fix this and that. So we're going to work on it this week. It's on to Atlanta. We're focused on our opponent. We got a tough team coming up. It's the same old story with John Harbaugh in these press conferences. It feels like we're hearing the same thing over and over and over and over again. And I'm telling you, bro, I'm tired. I'm tired. Man. John Harbaugh has really made this choice. He is going to die on his shield. This is his coaching staff. These are his guys. So he's willing to go down with them. If they win a Super Bowl, the haters are just proven wrong, and he gets to bask in that glory. But if they end up failing in the playoffs or even missing the playoffs, he and everybody else is out of here. It's simple as that. I think it comes down to it. So let's see how this plays out, Ravens flock. But man, Harbaugh, whoo, you might be out of here, man. And it's crazy because I've been thinking about this lately. Um, I've been on record saying that Greg Roman kind of reminds me of Mike D'Antoni. I've said Greg Roman is like the NFL version of Mike D'Antoni because he has a unique system that can put up a lot of stats and maybe lead to some wins. But when it comes to competing for a championship and truly getting that ring, it always fails, and it fails to come up when you need it most. It always comes up short. Mike D'Antoni's system has always done that. Greg Roman's system has always done that. Neither one of these coaches have helped a team win a championship, and I don't think they ever will. You're not winning with their systems. So I've said Greg Roman is the NFL version of Mike D'Antoni. And it took me a while to think about this, but I think I finally got it down. John Harbaugh is the NFL version of Doc Rivers. He's the NFL version of Doc Rivers. Both coaches have won a championship, and they are leaning on that championship to just carry them. They are basking in that one championship ring. They are desperately holding on to that one championship ring on their resume. And they're using it as a way to validate whatever decisions they're making right now. They don't need to change. The philosophy can be the same. It don't matter. They're sticking with that philosophy. All because they won that one ring, even though they were technically carried by three Hall of Famers. For Doc Rivers, you had Paul Pierce, you had Ray Allen, you had Kevin Garnett. For John Harbaugh, you had Ray Lewis, you had Ed Reed, you had Terrell Suggs. Both coaches were carried by the talent on their team. They got that one ring, and now all of a sudden, they don't need to change their philosophy. And due to that, their teams have been in a lot of situations where they have had some historical choking performances. We don't even need to begin to get into the years that we saw the Clippers choke with Doc Rivers as their coach. And we've seen plenty of choking performances by the Ravens with John Harbaugh here. So it really just comes down to that at the end of the day. John Harbaugh is the NFL version of Doc Rivers, and I don't know what that means for us. Does it mean we get back to the playoffs and find a way to embarrass ourselves again? Probably. I wouldn't be surprised, but who the hell knows what's going to happen? The Ravens are not going to change. They're not changing their philosophy anytime soon. They're perfectly content with what's happening here, and John Harbaugh has made his decision. He is going to die on his shield. This is his coaching staff. He is going to war with them. And at the end of the day, either they get a Super Bowl out of it or show some sort of progress or success, or they choke and fail miserably, and John Harbaugh and probably everyone else in the staff could be out the door. We could be seeing something totally different in the offseason, depending on how this season ends for the Ravens. So we got 3 games. We got 3 games, guys. We got 3 games. That's all I got to say. We have 3 games to go. Let's see what the Ravens do. This is John Harbaugh's coaching philosophy. He has chosen to stand by Greg Roman and everyone else. Nothing's going to change. He's made his decision. There's no reason to get mad or just constantly call for Greg Roman's job. Let this play out. Let it play out. Because if it fails, this could be the end of John Harbaugh in Baltimore. And we'll just go from there. Let's see what happens. But with that being said, I appreciate you guys watching. I just wanted to make this quick video just to talk about that press conference because, man, it was a whole bunch of nothing. It was a whole bunch of nothing. He was just repeating the same things over and over and over and over again. And it's just like, okay, you're telling us things we already know. Ain't nothing changed. You've been saying this every week. It's the same old story. And you keep saying the same thing. When are changes going to happen? People are getting frustrated. But yeah, I wanted to address that, and I just wanted to say John Harbaugh has made his choice. A lot of people were hopeful that he would pull the plug and fire Greg Roman the same way he did Cam Cameron back in 2012, our Super Bowl year, but that's just not going to happen. Back then, Harbaugh was trying to prove himself. So he was willing to do whatever is necessary to get that championship. But this John Harbaugh, it's not the same. He's already proven. His resume's there. Just like Doc Rivers. His resume's there. He coached the team to a championship. He's got nothing else to prove. So he's going to continue with this same coaching philosophy that he's been doing his entire career because he has a championship to prove that it works. And at the end of the day, whatever comes of it, comes of it. So it is what it is at the end of the day. But yeah, with that being said, I appreciate you guys watching. And yeah, we got 3 games left of the season. Let's see how this goes for the Ravens. That's all I've got, and I'm out of here, man. Peace.